you're not doing it, because you can't see it as easily in yourself.
Right, right.
But you can see it really easily in them, right?
I always say that too.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I would do is, I mean, if I had your numbers like this, I'd be like, anything that came out of my mouth, I'd be like, I wonder if that one's for me. I wonder if that one's for me. Because you actually have all the answers. You actually have all the answers. You're not listening to yourself. Okay? So it's been easier to do it for others, and it's been hard to do it for yourself. But again, think of healers and teachers. Easy example, Mother Teresa. So Mother Teresa, at the end of her life, she had such bad osteoporosis that she couldn't even walk. So she had people on either side of her practically carrying her because she could barely walk. And she had a heart condition that was really, really bad. And so she was still teaching and healing and ministering to people, and she could barely walk, right? So there's an example of this combination done a particular way. So her karma was to take care of her own physical body, but that was challenging for her, okay? Now notice, I'm sure she tried. I mean, I'm sure she had the best doctors that were available and everything like that, but the Karma 5 says sometimes it's your result. You're like a bull on a road pulling something, right? And, you know, for you, you are very fixated or going this way, you know, kind of like that. And so what happens is you sometimes forget to take care of your own physical body. But when you've got this combination, you actually are psychic in your body, which means your body's trying to talk to you. And if you do the wrong thing, it'll scream at you, okay? Mm-hmm. And it's like the little bit of energy that's off one way. So I had a woman who was a client of mine, and she had this double 5. And she taught swimming, exercise swimming to older people, and she was a personal trainer, and she was in her 50s, and she was in amazing shape, and she had a mother who was an invalid and was in a wheelchair. And one day, her mother was in a very bad state, and she was a personal trainer, and her mother was just a little spit of a thing, right? And so she went to go pick up her mother and put her in her chair. And the moment she picked up her mother, she felt her mother's energy. And in her mind, she said, I just never want to do this again. And guess what she did? Mm-hmm. She blew her back. She blew the disc in her back. Because the energy of the mother combined with the energy of her own frustration and exhaustion about having to take care of her mother combined, and her body broke. Okay, so it's really important when you have this combination to pay attention to what you're thinking when you're starting to do something. And if you're in an environment with people who are really pooky and
define pooky.
Negative, not nice, condescending, putting you down, and you're trying to do something, you could actually get sick or you could get hurt. Mm-hmm. So you have to be really aware, like, yeah, I think I better take a break for a second. You know, let me just go clear my energy for a second. And you have to be super aware of it, because your karma is that of the wounded healer teacher, which means you have had woundings in this lifetime. So I'm looking at you, and I've got this beautiful woman in front of me, and this has not been a cakewalk. This is a horrible karma to have. You had a really difficult childhood. You had some really difficult things going on. You got thrown and bonked and bruised, and you've had to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, get back on the horse. And fortunately, you know the answer. Like, you've always known the answer. You were always wise from the moment you were a kid. You actually knew that what was going on in your household was stupid and didn't work. But they're not going to listen to you, right? Because your karma was to take care of yourself and your own body and to make yourself a priority, but your tendency is to be the leader, right? Or the healer. So here you are, you're in a family where you're not getting your needs met, which is the 5. Your gift is to give them their needs, right? So you were running around helping them, making sure they were feeling perfectly fine. And in doing that, it would make you feel powerful. It would make you feel very powerful, but you still weren't getting your needs met. So when you get this 10 double 5 combination, I'm like going, did you even have a childhood? I mean, really?
No.
No. See? You know, it's like, it's too grown up. You know, it's like you had to be grown up from the get-go, because you are grown up. You are an old soul. So when you look at numbers, the 9, 10, 11, and the 4 are old soul numbers. Okay, so the 4, because it's neutral mind, and Buddha is neutral mind and all that. But the 9, 10, and 11, and you've got the 10 right there. So you're in the old soul category, absolutely. You're absolutely in the old soul category. But you had karma in the physical plane with people. So you picked karmically to be in the family that has caused you the most physical harm. Notice I said physical harm in this lifetime. So you basically said, I'm going to deal with this family. They've been the pain in the ass in so many lifetimes. I'm going to deal with them to the best of my ability. And so anybody who's born in the 5th month and has a karma of 5, they had something going on in their childhood that was really intense. Now, it could be their family, it could have been the babysitter, it could have been school that was horrible, that they were being moved from school to school and they never had ground underneath them, they never had stability. Sometimes it's all the above, right? Mm-hmm. So, but somehow the karma says there was no ground, there was no earth, there was no stability. You had to create it yourself. So what you tried to do was you tried to be the adult. You tried to show up and be the adult and be the 10 and I'll be responsible and I'll handle it and I'll get it done and I'll put it together and all that kind of thing. But at the same time, you felt wounded and then you're trying to heal yourself and teach yourself. So your body you have to pay attention to your body. So people who have fought double 5s like this, diet, nutrition, exercise, Chinese herbs, all of these things are really critical for you compared to other people because some people are built very, very strong. And fortunately, your soul is very strong, but your body's not strong. It's sort of interesting, right? So what keeps your body going is your spirit. Your spirit keeps you going, which is really amazing. Now this path of 6, again, your path tells you how the karma is going to show up in this lifetime. The path of 6 is again Saint Hildegard. So it's service, it's spirituality, it's sensitivity, it's artistry, but uplifting artistry. So again, your path is that you want to uplift people, you want to inspire people, you want to motivate people. That's so important for you. Your path is that you have to figure out how to do that. And that makes total sense because you had a family that there was no ground underneath you. So it's sort of like you had to find a higher calling because this didn't work. Okay, so I'm instead of focusing on how this is not working, I'm going to focus on a possibility and see if I can go upwards, okay, in some way. So spiritually, your spiritual connection, your connection with guides and angels pretty much saved you and helped you with this karma. My guess is you had them whispering in your ear your whole childhood trying to help you, like, try this, try that, try. So I'm sure that you've had these magical synchronistic things coming together and things happening around you because your path was to listen to spiritual energy, listen to the uplifting voice, somehow listen to other people too, listen to other people who are trying to help you. Now, a 5-6 combination, whenever you see a 5-6 combination, is the classic mother, okay? So, and granted, Taurus is the sign of motherhood, absolutely, but you also got a 5-6 combination, and I always say to a 5-6 combination, whether it's a man or a woman, I say, please be a parent, because you're a good parent, and we want that. It's a beautiful thing. But sometimes when you get this gift of earth energy, which is nurturing and food and dinner on the table and, fixing bumps and bruises and broken bones and being such a good, attentive mom. The path of 6 is also, again, you think of the 6, the monk, nun, priest. So it's about celibacy, okay? So it's about celibacy. So relationships can be challenging. You're great with children, and you're great with children because you would never do to a child what your parents did to you. But relationships are difficult because your parents' relationship was not very good, okay? So what happens is relationship is the challenge, and again, with this 10 here, we're looking for the needle in the haystack. So, because, we need a certain type of guy. We need a really, powerful, strong kind of guy in order to make it work. So, with this path of 6, sometimes you have these real challenging relationships. So, have you been married and divorced? It's really classic. When you get this combination, you get marriages and divorces. And, so if I had a younger person, so if I had somebody who was 24, I would say just don't marry anybody for a minute, right? So I would want them to wait until they got past their Saturn return, which is between 28 and 32. And you know, fortunately, we're in the modern age, and you know, there's lots of rules and regulations. But when you get a 5-6, I almost would want them to play the field a little bit and not settle in on one person right away, because I don't want them to get caught in infatuation and not be seeing who the person really is, right? And see, with this combination, the reason for that is that your gift is a healer and a teacher. So men are going to be drawn to you that need you to heal and teach them. So, or want you to mother them. Right, so then you become the mother, right? And see, like immediately you go, I don't want that, I want a mate, right? You know, I want another 10, I want another 10. I don't want to be your mother, for goodness sakes, right? But you're so strong that you're Xena Warrior Princess and you're the mama bear, and so people will feel very safe with you, and weak men will love you. They'll love you because you can do it in everything, and you kind of like it because that was how you survived as a child, was to take charge. Like you took charge and you said, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. And so that's what you did, is you ran around doing it all. But in a relationship, you don't always want to do it. So in relationship, you want to let go every once in a while, right? So, you know, you want to be able to trust a man that he's going to do what he says he's going to do, and he's going to complete something, and you can not worry about it for a second. That would be a relief, right? So, but that's hard for you to find, because the strong men, if you are not practicing being your softer self, the strong men will think you don't need them, right? Because you just seem impenetrable, you know. And so the feminine is about vulnerability and surrender a little bit more. So as a result, it's kind of like, if these were my numbers, I would practice softening, okay? Now, here I've got this woman in front of me, and you in a soft outfit, so you've got the flowy thing, you're working on it, you know, you can feel that this is something you know.
I knew I needed the shift.
Exactly, you knew it. So as a result, it's that place that's like, okay, it's not about, am I strong enough? At this point, you should know that you're strong enough. Now it's about, am I radiant enough? Am I open enough? Am I soft enough? It's a really beautiful quality. I remember when I was in a workshop, and a gentleman, we were doing an exercise, and I was not doing the exercise well. I was failing at the exercise, and what I was trying to do is enhance my eyes, and he was supposed to grade me, you know, and I couldn't get a good grade. And finally, he said to me, "I need you to soften your eyes." He said, "You're trying to penetrate me with your eyes, and I want to penetrate you. I want to fall into your eyes." That was the most valuable piece of information any man had ever given me, because up until that point, I realized I'd never even surrendered my eyes. I'd never even surrendered my eyes. And it's like, so that place of learning to surrender, and when I started to relax my eyes, I got scared. And so I started to cry, and the moment I started to cry, he gave me the perfect score. And I was just like, oh my gosh, right? So, yes, you are very strong. Yes, you can take care of yourself. Do you want to? And the point is, no. You're in a completion year. You don't want to do this way anymore. You've been through the dark night of the soul. You have let go of everything. You have rearranged your entire life. You have been stripped bare, okay? And now you're trying to say, I'm done with that pattern. That pattern has not worked for me. No matter what, I want another pattern, whatever that pattern is.
Give me something different.
Give me something different, anything different, in order to find it. Now, with this Destiny of 3, which is really interesting, the Destiny of 3 basically says that as you get older, you get more positive. So, I mean, I think that's an incredible gift. So, the Destiny of 3, you're more positive.
That'd be refreshing.
Yeah. You know, would that be nice? Okay. So, the Destiny of 3 is my favorite Destiny number to have. Now, I know Destiny numbers are not easy when they're your own, but there are some really bad Destiny numbers, and this one isn't it. And your Destiny number also has a tendency to tell you about your aging process and also about your death. So a Destiny of 3 is the Destiny of positive mind.